Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be going over the M1 Finance portfolio, and we're going to see how we did over the course of this last week, as well as of course add in a new dividend stock. So if you guys are by chance new here and this is your first video, we are sharing the journey of this M1 Finance portfolio. So make sure you guys are subscribed as we are releasing new videos throughout this process. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and hop here on the actual desktop to see where we're at with our portfolio. So first and foremost, we hit over the $200 marker on the actual value of the portfolio, which is awesome. Little steps is always a great way to, measure everything. If we actually look how we're doing over the last week right now, we had a gain of $1.34 with a return of 0.67%. So not a ton, but if we actually go to our 1 year marker here, we are actually up at $11.49 and our total return is 8.66%. So doing pretty well. I am excited about that. So I'm really happy for us to continue to do that and continue to get good returns over the long haul, because of course with investing, we want to go long haul. So now let's go ahead and check out what we have in the portfolio. So in case you haven't seen what we've been adding, right over here, we have 75% of our actual portfolio is in Vanguard S&P 500, ticker VOO. We have a little bit here in Tesla with 5% of the portfolio. I know it's not dividend stock if you are just watching this video for the first time, or the series, I should say. It's just I have a goal of owning 1 share of Tesla. One day that'll happen. Then we also have Disney here, which has been doing pretty well. 5% of the portfolio. Microsoft also doing really extremely well. I do have I actually have 1 share of Microsoft on Robinhood, which I might do a video here very soon as far as showing you guys my Robinhood portfolio. That's 5% of the overall account. We have NRZ. Hasn't been doing as well, but overall still good at 5% of the portfolio. And then last week, our newest dividend stock was actually AT&T, ticker number T. And that is, of course, also 5% of our portfolio. That's kind of the percentage we're going with now. Once we start building up the portfolio more with all the funds we are going to have, then I'll start adjusting those numbers a little bit more accordingly to what I feel comfortable with and what I do research on, and how these companies are changing. So overall, that is what the portfolio looks like. So just again, in case you guys haven't been following along. And then I will put in the show notes down below a link to the pie as well. So if you guys want to just have access to seeing all the different funds I'm in, I think you can actually, if you click on that link, you can see what I'm ahead of in case I do these videos a couple days prior to them actually releasing. So you guys can follow along that way. If you don't have an M1 Finance portfolio account and you want to sign up, I will have a link at the top of the show notes. That is an affiliate link, meaning I do make a small commission for you guys using that link for me to sign, for you to sign up, of course, but just always have to let you guys know. And with that being said, let's go ahead and start looking at the new fund that we're going to be adding here today. Now, right now I'm just adding these in as slices. I think there's ways for me to make them into like separate pies for different sectors, which I might start doing once we start getting a lot more funds here in the account. But for now, I'm totally fine with how it is currently. So we're gonna go ahead and of course click on the edit, have that load up, take a while. I might cut this out of the edit just in case it's taking forever, which it is. I'm just gonna hit refresh on that. All right, so here we are now. So let's go ahead and hit add. So of course I do research on the fund I want to add in next. I go through seekingalpha.com. I talked about that last week as well. Really like that website. It gives me so much data and insight on the different companies. So right now, I think they might be also on the front page or the first couple of pages. Let's see if they are. Perfect, yeah. So this is also a pretty big name when it comes to stocks. Now, of course, I always mention this as well too, is these are just companies that I've done research on. If you are interested in investing in these, I highly recommend just doing your own research for them, as it's not recommended for you to follow along with anybody else's portfolio, as their risk tolerance and their situations could be way different than yours. So just be cautious of that. So the company I am going with is Home Depot. which is ticker number HD. So Home Depot has been doing really well over the course of the last couple of years. And so I really like them and what they have to offer. Their actual fund right now is at $206.98. So we're gonna own very tiny bits of the actual company, seeing that we're gonna just be adding the $10 again this week. Hopefully sometime soon I will bump that up as far as how much I'm putting in every single week. And there might even be some weeks where I'm just adding the $10 and not doing any funds. So that way my actual investments get a little bit of a bump up. So their dividend yields here are at 2.64%. Now I bring that up here when we're talking about the companies that I'm investing in, but that's not normally what I look at first. So I do look at a lot of other information on the back end. I'll make maybe a separate video later on what I look for, but there's some great videos out there from other YouTubers who really go into depth on what to look for when picking companies, especially when it comes to dividend stocks. Kenny Robbins, I think it is. He actually does a really good job. I'm pretty sure I said his name right. He does a really good job talking about dividends, and I've actually watched some of his videos as well. So he does a really fantastic job. So you can see here the performance over the last year. There's actually that huge dip back in early December, or mid-December, I should say, where the stock actually went down quite a bit. Would have been a good time to definitely get in there. But you can see here they have their dividend payouts every quarter. And then if I go on to Seeking Alpha, let's load this up here. I know it kind of cuts off the screen here just a tiny bit. But of course, all the important information we need here. So if we go into Seeking Alpha and go to the dividend section here, just so you can see some of the information. They've had dividend growth over the last 10 years, which is really awesome. And then they, of course, get paid off on the, oops, that was interesting. It kind of went off there. Quarterly. And then right now their annual payout is $5.44, which gives them that 2.64% yield on there. So pretty awesome. They've been doing really well, like I mentioned, over the course of the last couple of years. If you look at their actual fund, not 10 years. I usually go 5 to 10 years, of course. 5 years ago, it was at $81.13. So not only is the fund actually paying out dividends, but they are consistently growing over time on the actual fund itself. So we're gonna go ahead and add Home Depot here to the portfolio, which I'm actually pretty excited to add Home Depot. That's where my dad and I normally go get all of our supplies anytime we do any type of remodeling. And we're gonna take, of course, away from Vanguard VOO. So now we are adding another fund to the portfolio. So super exciting. Before we continue on, make sure that you guys let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of Home Depot. Do you like it? Do you not? Do you think it's a good buy? And if you have any recommendations on those funds, as always, leave them down below. I've been looking at some of the ones you guys are recommending, and I really do appreciate it because I know, of course, of certain funds I want to add, but it's always a good idea to consistently do more and more research. So let's go ahead and hit add on here, and let's close this off. And then we're gonna go ahead and save this. So we're gonna confirm that save. So now we're gonna be adding Home Depot into the overall pie. And then of course, we're gonna wanna deposit the $10 into the account per usual. So we'll confirm that. That'll be taken care of the next day, or as you guys are watching this, it'll get put in and applied into the account. So we added the $10, and of course that's going to get dispersed into the Home Depot account for the most part, and then it might splice into a little bit of some of these other funds, which is awesome. Like I said, I might maybe next week or in the next couple of weeks either add $10 by itself and not add any funds, or maybe bump it up to $20 one time just to get a little bit more money coming into these funds so we can have more ownership in them. If I go into the activity feed here, I do have a dividend pending right now, and this one is actually going to be with Microsoft. So it's 3 cents. So this is actually the very first dividend that you guys are seeing here on the actual account. Obviously 3 cents is absolutely nothing for the most part, but it is a start, and we're going to continue to grow and earn more dividends and get to, you know, see how this is all working out over the long haul. So 3 cents, of course, will be added in there, giving our total cash value at 4 cents. It won't be reinvested until we hit over $10, which will go in with our actual $10 we just deposited. All right, so I am excited that we have earned this 3 cents. And so now I actually want to add the fact that we earned this 3 cents into our Google spreadsheet. I don't know, I think I showed you guys this a little bit before. So we're gonna go ahead and switch over the tab, and I gotta switch my screen here just a little bit, so that way we can see the overall spreadsheet. And we're gonna add 3 cents into the June tab right here. And we're gonna see a super tiny bump up in our June little line over here. And then of course, this dividend actually gets added into our Q2 dividend, which is going to be right over here, because we had 64 cents earned from VOO back in April. So now we have a total dividend earning of 67 cents for Q2, and a total, of course, for 2019. And that's through M1 Finance. So I know we didn't talk about the 64 cents because that happened before I started this series. So this 3 cents is actually the first dividend payout when it comes to these videos. So super small amount, but I'm excited to see where, you know, the next couple months happen and where the next year takes us when it comes to dividend earning. And you guys can see the growth happening and how being diligent and focused on these goals are really going to have an impact overall. I got to update these numbers down here on the spreadsheet. This is just the number of times I should be estimated to get paid out for each given month. So I'm gonna update that because I've added a few funds and I still gotta do that. If you guys are interested in something like this spreadsheet, let me know in the comments down below. I can either start selling it through like my email, if you guys wanna email me for this. Haven't created like a price point or anything yet, or I can maybe set it up on like an Etsy account and you guys can just purchase it and download it directly. But the cool thing with this spreadsheet is it does offer, the way I set it up at least, was my M1 Finance portfolio, my Robinhood portfolio, and my Vanguard portfolio. And then I have one for all of them combined. So I set up all the math to just do it automatically once I plug in these numbers. So that way it's easy for me and it's all taken care of. So if you guys are interested in something like this, either comment down below to let me know you're interested, or just shoot me an email and I'll have that in the show notes down below. I'm thinking maybe something around like the $5 marker if you guys want this to be able to plug in all your numbers when it comes to dividend investing. But overall, that's super exciting. Let's go ahead and head back onto the M1 Finance account. Let me zoom back in here. So hopefully someday soon we'll start earning enough dividends every month to actually get paid out $10, so that way it gets auto reinvested without us having to do anything with it, which will be really, really cool. So that'll be exciting once that's officially in the account and going through. So as I mentioned earlier, let me know what you guys think of me adding in Home Depot as part of this dividend portfolio. Was it a win? Is it maybe not so great to be adding it? I want to hear from you guys down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and check out more content here on the channel if you want to see what I am up to. And if you made it this far, make sure you have that subscribe button already hit down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.